There is a special kind of dread that hits the moment you pull back your sheets, look closely at the seam of your mattress, and see something the size of an apple seed scurry into a crack. Your stomach drops. And then comes the second wave of panic, the quotes. Because the first thing everyone tells you is, call an exterminator. And the first thing the exterminator tells you is a number that can run anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. But here is what the pest control industry does not put front and center. A huge chunk of what they do, you can do yourself with cheap stuff you can buy at any hardware store, plus a couple of things you already own. Bed bugs are stubborn, but they are not magic. They die from heat. They die from being dried out. They starve when they cannot reach you. And if you attack them on every one of those fronts at the same time, you can clear a moderate infestation in about 4 to 6 weeks without ever picking up the phone. Now, you have probably seen the videos promising that one cheap liquid under your sink, hydrogen peroxide, will wipe them out overnight. We are going to talk about that honestly, because there is a kernel of truth buried under a mountain of hype, and knowing the difference will save you from ruining your sheets for nothing. So grab a notepad and let's get into the stuff that actually works. First, let's talk about the enemy. Before you spend a dime, you need to know what you are dealing with, because half the battle with bed bugs is psychological. Bed bugs are small, flat, reddish-brown insects, roughly the size and shape of an apple seed when they are adults. They feed exclusively on blood, usually yours, and they come out to do it at night while you sleep. During the day they hide, and they are world-class at hiding. They squeeze into mattress seams, box spring corners, the joints of your bed frame, behind the headboard, inside electrical outlets, under loose wallpaper, in the cracks of nightstands, and along baseboards. If a crack is wide enough to slide a credit card into, a bed bug can live in it. Here is the most important myth to kill right now. Bed bugs have nothing to do with being dirty. A spotless home and a messy one are equally at risk. These insects are hitchhikers. They ride home in the seams of luggage after a hotel stay. They come in on second-hand furniture. They travel between apartments through walls and outlets. And they catch a ride on a bag set down in the wrong place. So drop the shame. It is not about your housekeeping, and that mindset only slows you down. The reason they are so hard to beat is simple math. A single female can lay 1 to 5 eggs a day, and those eggs are tiny, pale, and glued into the deepest hiding spots she can find. That is why any method that only kills the bugs you can see is doomed. You have to deal with the ones you cannot see and the eggs they came from. Number 1. Confirm it's actually bed bugs and find out where they are. Don't start a war until you know who you're fighting. Plenty of bites get blamed on bed bugs that turn out to be fleas, mosquitoes, or a skin reaction to something else entirely. The real proof isn't the bites, it's the evidence. Look for tiny dark spots on your sheets and mattress seams, which are bed bug droppings and look like someone touched the fabric with a fine tip marker. Look for small reddish smears, which are bugs that got squished. Look for the pale, papery shed skins they leave behind as they grow, and in a heavy case, a faintly sweet, musty odor. The cheapest detective tool you can deploy is an interceptor, a small dish-shaped trap that sits under each leg of your bed and your furniture. Bugs trying to climb up to feed fall in and can't climb back out. It tells you whether you have them, how bad it is, and later, whether your treatment is working. You can buy a 4-pack cheaply or improvise with smooth plastic containers. Check them every morning. They are your scoreboard for the whole campaign. Number 2. Whatever you do, don't make these 2 mistakes. Before the cleanup, 2 warnings, because these are the moves that turn a manageable problem into a disaster. First, do not throw out your mattress, your couch, or your bed frame in a panic. It feels like the decisive move, but it usually isn't. You'll spend hundreds replacing furniture, drag the infested item through your home and down the hallway, spreading bugs the whole way, and the survivors hiding in your baseboards will simply colonize the brand new mattress within weeks. We can treat most furniture instead of trashing it. Second, do not reach for a bug bomb or a total release fogger. This is the single most common DIY blunder. The fog does not penetrate the deep cracks where bedbugs live, and worse, it scatters them, driving the survivors deeper into your walls and into neighboring rooms. You'll feel like you did something, but you've actually spread the infestation and made the next steps harder. Number 3. Declutter. Because clutter is a bedbug hotel. Every sock on the floor, every pile of magazines, every cardboard box under the bed is a free hiding spot and a free nursery. The more stuff you have within a few feet of where you sleep, the more places bugs can hide, and the harder every other step becomes. So clear it out. As you do, don't just shove things into another room. That just relocates the problem. Sort items into sealed plastic bags as you go, and keep items to be treated separate from items already treated. Hard plastic bins with tight lids are your friend here. Bed bugs can't chew through them, so anything you seal and treat stays clean. Reducing clutter alone won't kill anything, but it shrinks the battlefield down to a size you can actually win. Number 4, heat your laundry, because heat is a bedbug's worst enemy. This is the cheapest, most powerful weapon you already own, and it's sitting in your laundry room. Bedbugs and their eggs cannot survive sustained high heat, and your clothes dryer gets plenty hot enough. Strip all your bedding, plus any clothes, curtains, stuffed animals, and washable fabric near the bed, and seal it in bags to carry to the laundry. Wash everything in hot water. Then, and this is the part that matters most, dry it on the highest heat setting for at least 30 minutes. That high heat dry cycle is what kills bed bugs in every life stage, including the eggs. The drying matters even more than the washing. For items that cannot be washed, you can still run them through the dryer on high for 30 minutes to kill anything hiding in them. The moment a load comes out, seal it in a clean bag or bin so nothing reinfests it while you finish the rest of the job. Number 5. Vacuum like you mean it. Your vacuum cleaner is a bed bug removal machine. It won't end the war by itself, but it physically pulls live bugs, eggs, and shed skins out of hiding instantly, and that head start is worth a lot. Go over the mattress seams, the box spring, the bed frame joints, the baseboards, the edges of the carpet, and inside drawers. Use the crevice tool and really get into the cracks. An old credit card or playing card dragged along seams will dislodge bugs and eggs so the vacuum can grab them. The critical part most people skip comes after. Bed bugs can survive inside a vacuum and crawl right back out. So the second you finish, take the canister or bag outside, seal the contents tightly in a plastic bag, and put it straight into an outdoor trash can, not the bin under your kitchen sink. Then clean the vacuum itself. Number 6. Bring the steam. If heat in the dryer kills the bugs in your laundry, a steamer brings that same lethal heat to everything you cannot toss in a machine: your mattress, your box spring, your couch, your carpet edges, and the cracks of your furniture. A handheld garment steamer or a steam cleaner works because the heat penetrates fabric and slips into the seams and crevices where sprays and powders cannot reach. To actually kill bugs and eggs, the steam needs to be hot at the point of contact. Aim for around 160 degrees Fahrenheit at the tip, and you need to move slowly, roughly 1 inch every couple of seconds, so the heat has time to sink in. Go over mattress seams, the tufts and folds of upholstered furniture, along baseboards, and into the joints of the bed frame. This is one of the few methods that reaches EGGs, which is exactly why it punches so far above its cost. Number 7. Trap them with encasements. Here's a trick that's almost too simple. Once you have washed, vacuumed, and steamed your mattress and box spring, seal them inside zippered, bed-bug-proof encasements, heavy covers with a tight zipper that are available wherever bedding is sold. This does 2 beautiful things at once. Any bugs or eggs you missed inside the mattress are now trapped, and with nothing to feed on, they eventually starve and die. And no new bugs can get into the seams, which is where they love to live most. The catch is patience. Leave the encasements zipped on for many months, because bed bugs can survive a remarkably long time without a meal, so don't pull them off early thinking the coast is clear. A pair of encasements costs a fraction of 1 exterminator visit, and they turn your bed from the enemy's headquarters into a sealed tomb. Number 8. Cut off their supply lines. Bed bugs don't fly and they don't jump. They walk. So if the only path to you is up the legs of your bed, you can cut them off and turn your bed into an island. Pull the bed a few inches away from the wall and away from any other furniture. Make sure your blankets, sheets, and bed skirt don't drape onto the floor, because a hanging comforter is a perfect on-ramp. If your headboard is mounted to the wall, inspect and treat it, because bugs love to hide behind it and use it as a bridge. Now put those interceptor traps from step 1 back under every leg of the isolated bed. With the bed away from the wall, bedding off the floor, and traps guarding the legs, a bug that wants to feed has exactly 1 route, straight into the trap. Many people are shocked at how quickly the bites stop once the bed is truly isolated, even before the infestation is fully gone. Number 9. Dust the cracks with diatomaceous earth. This is the cheap powder that does the slow, grinding work in all the places you can't reach with heat. Diatomaceous earth is a fine dust made from fossilized algae. It kills bed bugs mechanically rather than with poison. It scratches and damages their waxy outer shell, and they dry out and die. Because it's physical, not chemical, bugs can't build resistance to it the way they do to sprays. A few rules make or break it. Buy a product registered with the EPA and labeled for bed bugs or crawling insects, not the kind sold for swimming pool filters, which is a different, hazardous form you should never breathe indoors. Wear a dust mask while applying it, because any fine powder can irritate your lungs. And apply it as a barely there film, not a snowdrift. Bugs walk through a thin dusting but go around a visible pile. Lightly dust the cracks and crevices of the bed frame, the seams of the box spring, behind baseboards, around outlet covers, and the paths bugs travel to reach the bed. Then leave it alone. This is the opposite of an instant fix. Studies show it can take anywhere from about a week to a couple of weeks of contact to kill the bugs, and it works far better in dry conditions than humid ones. Leave it undisturbed for at least a week or 2, then vacuum and reapply, and plan on a few cycles. It's slow, it's cheap, and it quietly mops up what heat and steam couldn't reach. Number 10. Seal the cracks, so there's nowhere left to hide. Every gap you close is 1 fewer fortress for the bugs and 1 fewer place you'll have to treat next time. Once you've cleaned and treated an area, seal it shut. Use caulk to fill cracks in baseboards, gaps where the wall meets the floor, and splits in wooden furniture. Tighten or replace loose electrical outlet covers, since outlets are a favorite hidden highway between rooms and even between apartments. Glue down peeling wallpaper. The goal is to shrink the number of hiding spots so dramatically that the bugs have nowhere left to retreat, which forces them out into the open where your traps, dust, and steam are waiting. Number 11. Freeze the stuff you can't wash or heat. Not everything can survive a hot dryer. Think shoes, books, electronics, and delicate items. Heat's opposite works too. Sustained cold kills bed bugs. Seal those items in plastic bags and put them in a freezer set to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Leave them there for several days. Sustained cold at that temperature kills bugs and eggs, but it has to be a deep, prolonged freeze. A quick overnight in a not very cold freezer won't do it, so give it a few full days to be safe. As a warm weather alternative, sealing items in tightly closed black plastic bags and leaving them in direct blistering sun can cook the contents. This is less reliable than a freezer or dryer because it depends entirely on the heat actually building up inside. Number 12. Now, about that hydrogen peroxide. Let's settle the question that probably brought you here. Does hydrogen peroxide kill bed bugs? If you spray it directly onto a bug in concentrated form, it can kill that individual bug. That part is real. But should you rely on it to clear an infestation? No. And here's the honest reason so you don't waste your money. Hydrogen peroxide only works on contact. It does nothing to the bugs and eggs hidden inside your mattress seams, behind the baseboards, and down in the cracks, which is where the vast majority of any infestation lives. You can't spray what you can't see, and the eggs are tucked into spots you'll never find them all. On top of that, peroxide is a bleaching agent. Spray it on your sheets, mattress, or clothes, and you risk leaving permanent pale blotches, so you may treat your bed by ruining it. And at the higher concentrations people reach for when they want it to actually kill something, it becomes a genuine irritant to skin and eyes, and is dangerous if ingested, which matters if you have kids or pets. So here's the fair verdict. Hydrogen peroxide, and rubbing alcohol for that matter, are minor spot tools. They are fine for killing a bug you physically see on a hard, non-fabric surface when applied carefully. They are not a cure, they will not get them for good, and anyone selling you that idea is selling you false confidence while the infestation quietly doubles. Keep peroxide in your kit as a last-second swatter, not your battle plan. The heat, the encasements, the traps, and the dust are what actually win. Number 13. Be patient, stay consistent, and know when to call for backup. This is the step nobody likes, but it's the one that separates success from a never-ending nightmare. It takes time, and it takes repetition. Eggs you couldn't reach will hatch over the following days and weeks, so you can't treat once and walk away. Vacuum again, steam again, reapply the dust on a schedule, and keep checking those interceptor traps. If the trap count keeps dropping week over week, you're winning. If it climbs, something's getting missed. For a moderate infestation caught reasonably early, a consistent campaign like this can clear it in roughly 4 to 6 weeks for the price of a few cheap supplies. But be realistic about the cases where DIY isn't enough. If you live in an apartment or multi-unit building, bugs are likely traveling through shared walls, and you'll need your landlord and the neighboring units involved, or you'll just keep getting reinfested. If you've been at it for a couple of months and the traps aren't emptying out, or the infestation is heavy and widespread, that's the moment a professional heat treatment earns its cost. Professionals can raise an entire room past the lethal threshold and kill every life stage in a single shot. Doing the cheap work first either solves it outright or, at worst, makes any professional treatment faster and cheaper. Either way, you come out ahead. Bed bugs feel like a catastrophe in the moment, but step back and look at your arsenal. A hot dryer you already own, a vacuum you already own, a steamer, a couple of zippered covers, some interceptor traps, a bag of EPA-registered dust, and a tube of caulk. None of it is exotic, and all of it together costs a small fraction of a single exterminator bill. The bugs win when people panic, toss their furniture, set off a fogger, and pin their hopes on one miracle liquid. They lose when you stay calm and hit them from every direction at once, heat, starvation, dehydration, and patience. So if you found this useful and you'd rather keep your money in your pocket than hand it to a pest company, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this when they're up at 2 in the morning searching for answers. And if you want a steady stream of money-saving fixes like this one landing in your feed, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Your wallet will thank you. Thanks for watching, and here's to a bug-free bed tonight.